Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you how I stenciled my laundry room floor. Just so you know, this is a cement floor, but I've seen plenty of people do this on a tile floor, which I actually might try myself now. This project did take me a little while to do, only because I didn't realize that my stencil was coming from Korea. So I actually ordered it on Amazon, and I will link the stencil below if you'd like to order the same one. But just a heads up, it took about 3 weeks to get to me. So plan ahead. I actually primed and painted the floor and then waited for my stencil and then realized that it was not coming for a while. In those 3 weeks, the wall actually started leaking because we had such a downpour and our sub pump was not keeping up with the water coming in. So it leaked onto my floor, which was obviously not sealed because it was not done, and it made a couple watermarks onto the paint. Our washer also broke, so we had some repairmen in and out of here. There were people walking on my painted but not stenciled floor for a month. So I debated if I wanted to do another coat of the charcoal chalk paint, but I decided not to, that I was just gonna go for it. I felt like I had nothing to lose because this floor was so awful before. You will see that in a minute. But I am just super happy with the way that this turned out, and I wanted to share with you guys how I did this in case you wanted to tackle a project like this too. I will not only share with you all of the things that I used to do this project, but I will also do my best to link them down in the description box. This video is not sponsored whatsoever. I am brand new to YouTube, so I don't even have that many subscribers. So if you could hit that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, along with some mommy videos. I am a mom of 5. I also homeschool them, so if you are into homeschooling, hit that subscribe button, and we're just gonna go ahead and get into this tutorial. And here is the before of the floor. First of all, I had to mop the floor just to make sure I had a very clean surface to work on. And after the floor was clean, I went in with this primer, and I actually didn't even use a paint tray. I just poured it right on the floor. Like I said, I felt like I had nothing to lose with this floor, and I did not want to clean out a paint tray. So I went ahead and just poured it on the floor and spread it around with my paint roller. I only did 1 coat of the primer because it covered the floor pretty well with the first coat, and I was planning on doing 2 coats of the charcoal chalk paint. So this is what it looked like after 1 coat of the primer, and after that was dry, I went in with the Rust-Oleum chalk paint. And first of all, I went along all the edges and got by the walls so I could move to my paint roller after that and go a lot quicker. And yes, I did get a little bit up on the walls in some places because I guess I'm a sloppy painter, but I just went back in with my white wall paint and I painted back over that, so that's an easy fix. And like I said, after I was done with all of the edges of the room, I moved over to a paint roller so it could go a lot quicker, and I went ahead and put 2 coats of this charcoal chalk paint on. Now I finally have my stencil. People have been walking on my floor for a month, and here is where the water leaked in through the wall. Okay, so I'm going to start over here in the middle. And I have my paint here. And I have an old washcloth. I have this tiny, it's clean, but used foam paint roller. And you can see that I did not actually line it up with the wall. I actually did my best to make sure it is straight. So this was actually the very first one that I stenciled, and it was actually the worst one that I stenciled. I actually ended up having too much paint on my paint roller, and the stencil didn't come out as good and crisp as it should have, but I learned very quickly, and this was the only one that looked like that. So for this one, I'm doing in real time. I'm not speeding it up, and I just wanted to show you how lightly I am pushing on there. I am not pushing very hard at all, and I'm taking my time, and I'm being very patient and just going over it really well before I remove the stencil. Each stencil is going to be different. You're going to have to kind of learn your own stencil, but here I'm showing you what I'm lining up to make sure that I'm keeping my lines straight. I was looking at those little lines in the middle that I pointed at, and I'm also looking at the little leaves at the top to make sure they're kind of the same distance apart every time. And now I just want to explain to you why I did this in a line like this instead of right next to each other. And the reason why is because when you go back up to the next row to start, you're going to have to slightly lay your stencil, at least mine, over the one that you already did next to it. And this gives it a chance to dry so you can safely lay your stencil on top of the other row. So now all I have left are the outer edges of the room. And this was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. All I had to do was kind of bend the stencil up the wall and hold it in place. Now you'll see in a minute that I am going to go through and clean up all those little white spots right there from the stencil with a tiny paintbrush and some of the charcoal paint. And then I went to the other side of the room and did that edge. And here is where I am showing you how I touched up the little imperfections. I actually could have gone on with this forever. I didn't fix all of the imperfections, and I was completely okay with that because it kind of gave it a vintage feel. And for this one, my stencil actually shifted when I went to roll the paint on because my tape came unstuck. And now I'm making a mess with polyacrylic. So this is what I use to seal the floor. Make sure you have a well ventilated area and maybe something over your mouth because it is very strong. You could very easily get a headache from this. So depending on your floor, you can decide if you want to do 2 or 3 coats of this. I am going to go ahead and do 3 coats of this because this is kind of a high traffic area. The door in here leads to our garage, which we use a lot, especially in the winter because our vehicles are parked there and we live in Wisconsin, so snow is no joke here. And having 5 kids, we go through here to get in our van when we leave, and they also come in with muddy and snow-filled boots. So I just really want to have it sealed really well. And right at the end here, I decided to dump this polyacrylic on accident, obviously, so whoops. And just as a reminder, this is what the floor looked like before. And now it's finished. I absolutely love the end result of this project. It turned out way better than I expected. I am so happy with it, and like I said, I might just hang out down here now. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more home decor and DIYs. Bye!